You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming, and some of you may on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you in another Let's Play episode of Minotaur Hotel. So y'all, before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now open. We've got Bronze tier for $5, Silver tier for $10, and Gold tier for $15 each. And we've got each one of them has exclusive rewards and grants permanent access to our community Discord server. Sorry if I'm blowing my words, y'all. It's been a long day at work for both of us, and we're just chilling out. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Continue. Yeah, there we go. You nod to the Minotaur. Asterion says nothing more. After you are done with your meal, the Minotaur retreats to the kitchen to wash the dishes. Only afterwards does he eat. He sits on the floor, cross-legged, and eats what remains of the food he summoned you. Even though the kitchen is nothing like the cold stone cell in which you met, the air of despondency which surrounds Asterion is so infectious that it almost appears the same. You watch him take his meal of bread and cheese, slowly, painstakingly, as though the very sensation of eating was somehow foreign to him after innumerable decades left to starve. Since he has only half a face, you can see a cross-section of every motion as he bites, chews, and swallows his meager meal, trying his best to find an angle which affords him the dignity of not exposing himself any further. Caught as he is between the shame of meeting your eyes, the impropriety of turning to avoid you, and the embarrassment at letting you see inside his mouth as he eats, he struggles briefly before resigning himself to the lattermost option. Unsure how to further rouse him from his melancholy, to simply allow yourself to share the silence, awkward though it may be. For several minutes, the only sound that can be heard is your own breathing, as well as the occasional splat when the Minotaur misjudges how much room he has to work with, and some half-chewed food falls out through the skeletal side of his maw. Excuse me. However, shortly after Asterion chokes down the last morsel of cheese, a sudden sound snaps both of you from the shared isolation. You can hear a flute playing from outside the apartment, piping away a blithely chipper tune. Asterion's ear flicks. He looks up to you, notices you heard it too, and freezes. Paleness creeps up his face. Drops of sweat fall from his brow as bits of saliva leak from his half-destroyed mouth. What's that? The Minotaur starts shaking. Please don't send me out to the valley, I beg of you. I'm sorry for not mentioning it earlier. I was going to, but I was afraid. The torturer is down in the valley and will try to bring me out. Please don't send me out. It takes a while to calm the Minotaur, but eventually he takes you to the source of the hauntingly chirpy song, all the way down the spiral staircase to the very depths of the hotel. Asterion follows closely behind you, even if in theory he should be the one guiding ahead. The song grows louder as you go down, as it's carried upward by a draft coming all the way from below. The bottom floor is bare rock, a vaguely circular gallery with a single exit leading out the valley. So far, the entire hotel, even if dilapidated, has only given you the impression that it was lovingly built. It is not the case for this area at its lowest point. It is precariously carved out of the rock and left behind with an act of distaste and carelessness. The sunlight pouring from outside is harsh to your eyes, accustomed as they are to the darkness of the spiral staircase. In contrast, the song has a jolly touch to it, and it continues to throw Asterion into a nearly panicked state. He is there, the foreman of the labyrinth. He is called Argos. He'll hurt me if I go out, but he can't harm the master. Oh, well, hello there, Half-Life. Background. That's what it reminds me of, Half-Life. The valley is laid out before you, painted in broad strokes of vivid orange, balanced out with blue and golden hues in the sky. It is arid, but there is vegetation here. It is actually a soothing scenery compared to the thoroughly lifeless desert around the hotel. The wind even has a tinge of an early morning humidity. It would be no surprise finding some dew lingering in the bushes. It is quite peculiar. The valley seemed devoid of life when you look down at it from the hotel's lookout, but up close it is quite different. Just ahead are 2 rows of marble statues, each one standing 4 to 5 meters tall, and a single statue of a woman pointing the sword in her hand at the hotel's entrance. The song comes from the statue. You look back to Asterion. You can barely make out the blue flame in the cave's darkness. Praise the Olympians! The bones showed the truth! A new master is indeed upon us! A gray hand grasps the statue's shoulder, and a serpentine shape emerges and coils around the woman's neck. Oh! Well, hello there. The wait has been long, my good lord. Oh, how I have anticipated this day, when a human would again rise to fulfill the mission bestowed by Athena. I have spent decades lying here, and this valley is interesting as a dung heap, ever since Master Clement left this realm, all by my lonesome. It's like, now, water time. It is as the epic said, servants never do their work when their master's hand is no longer over them, for Zeus takes half the goodness out of a man when he makes a slave of him. Without a master, the Minotaur has failed his duties. The mighty hotel is in disrepair, and the valley's entities have outright vanished. There's no work to do if a master's not around, you see. Only I remained, waiting. That shall change soon enough. I feel the earth stirring beneath the statues. Before you know it, the old kin of the gods will be among us once more. Now, my good master, do you know your most faithful follower's name? Has the Minotaur informed you of my pedigree? Master has not offered me a greeting, nor a word of appreciation, so I can only assume the old bull neglects his duties again. You're about to speak up when he interrupts you and continues with his speech. Your face says it all. Very well. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Argos Panoptes, Watcher of the Heifer, Worshipper of the Olympians. My pedigree is unmatched. I was born from the labyrinth itself, and there is no beast capable of evading my tracking. Nor any relic, for that matter. The snake holds a metal object under his arm, a set of bronze mirrors. Oh my, master, my eyes are up here. Your gaze would have me believe my form has caught your attention. Truly, I am a fine specimen, am I not? Or perhaps you are interested in this fine trinket I scavenged. It is a relic from ancient times. It focuses the sun's light into a single beam, generating a pure flame fitting for an offering. It is called the Mirror of Hestia. That's the goddess of the earth, of the hearth. Keep her appeased, and her blessing will tend to this realm. I found it here in the valley quite a while ago, discarded but not destroyed. I reckon Master Clement threw it off the cliff before his departure. He knew of the mirror's value. Surely he intended to cause harm. I know for a fact this trinket here holds quite the importance up there in that hotel you have. You see, without it this will remain in a state of disrepair. Only these little bronze dishes can light its sacred hearth. Perhaps, is it Master's desire to possess such a thing? Now, it would be my pleasure to be of use. Such is my function, to serve the Lord of the Realm. I shall gladly consider offering it to you, if only Master realizes a very simple request of mine. You'll consider it? Yes, I will give it, yes. Under one simple condition. It is trivial, insignificant. I merely wish to have 2 minutes with the Minotaur, right here in the valley. Order him to come out and stay for 2 short minutes. I shall not lay a finger on him, that I promise you. I merely wish to become reacquainted with the prisoner. I'm gonna refuse that offer. No thank you. I'm afraid I can't do that. Now, why would that be? Has the Minotaur slandered my good name? How low of him! They say a coward's liver is pale. Perhaps one day I shall confirm it with my own eyes. Regardless, I would have Master know that I am merely a pious follower of the old ways. There's no reason to doubt my character, assuming, that is, you hold dear the word of the 12 Olympians. My duty is simple. I assist the Master in fulfilling his gods-given task of enacting the Minotaur's punishment. He was, after all, sentenced to eternal damnation. The lords of old were true heroes. They had the iron fist to do what the gods required. But then came the later lineage of weak-willed degenerates with sacrilegious ideas. Offering mercy to the damned. Such childish silliness. That one Master Clement, I'd say he was a welcome return to form, but so uncreative. Merely locking the prisoner in a room scarcely compares to the might of olden times. Humans have grown awfully soft over the millennia. It's such a sorry sight. It pains me to think that the heritage of Theseus, Heracles, and Odysseus is wasted. Alright, 1 second, y'all. It is water time. Heroes of old had no hesitation. Heracles' aim was true. With an arrow coated in the Hydra's blood, he cleaved Garion's skull, the monster of the Red Desert. Silver-tongued Odysseus, hero of Ithaca, blinded the Cyclops Polyphemus with a stake and bathed his palace in blood. And last but not least, Theseus beheaded the Minotaur with Crete's sacred labrys. Time and time again, Athena's heroes prevailed over Poseidon's bestial descendants, good master. The triumph of civilization, of mankind over chaos. To this day, we honor Athena's and mankind's triumph here in this glorious realm. The Minotaur was sentenced to damnation, you see, and torturing him is an act of divine worship. Perhaps it is difficult for you to comprehend, fresh as you are in the labyrinth. Suffice it to say, this whole thing, the hotel, is a perversion of the Olympians' will. It was not Athena's wish to bring about mercy to the Minotaur, nor was it her intention that this prison realm be used for leisure. You humans are frightfully gifted with ingenuity. Those weak-willed masters of centuries past corrupted this fine land into a den of degeneracy. All of it accomplished by abusing the laws of the realm. But two can play this game, mind you. If humans will make contracts to push us further from the gods, then I have proposals for the Master which will bring us closer. In fact, I have a contract for you right here. I can only hope you'll see soon enough that the Minotaur you protect is a coward. One who brought about the fall of his land and the end of his lineage. He deserves no mercy, Master. Alright, let me play my little double flute. Argus returns to playing his flute, and the song washes over the valley like a refreshing rain. He closes his eyes and takes his time, as if insulting your presence. The pelt he wears sways with the wind. You hold your ground, looking up to the snake atop the statue. The snake thinks too highly of himself. You manage teams full of similar people, who believe themselves to be God's gift to the earth. You know just how to make him stumble and make a mistake. Leader. Perhaps you can get the better of this smug snake. Argos Panoptes, is it? I must say your words ring well in my ears. I remained silent as you spoke, weighing them, but indeed I understand now that the Minotaur misinformed me. He did tell me he was sentenced to this realm, but not that his tortures were in honor of the old gods. I must admit, knowing this, I would have acted quite differently. I suppose you are right. Humans have gone soft. It is time, perhaps, we return to the proper worship of the old gods. Oh my, you are one of the enlightened ones, aren't you? Perhaps I misunderstood you as well, good master. I was harsh, then, for implying you had a soft disposition. I truly must ask your forgiveness for my undisciplined tongue. You are forgiven, Argos. Since you truly are the one aligned with the gods, it is important we start properly. Please, come down so I may shake your hand. Argos slithers down, twisting and turning with a playful grace. His head perks up, too, like a puppy's. What a joyous day! The new master arrives and blesses me with an opportunity to honor him. The gods have sent their glory down to the valley. That is our hope, Argos. It is an honor to meet a faithful servant of the gods. You shake his hand, and he can hardly contain his excitement. Yesterday, I did officially take the Minotaur into my service. He pledged an oath to me. I assume the contract you wished me to sign is similar. How about we make this into a proper ceremony? Offer me the trinket and the contract, good snake. Then you shall bow to me, and I will gladly consider signing it. Without saying a word, he bows to you and raises his hands, offering you both the paper and the mirror. You do have excellent manners. I'm grateful for your offering, Argos Panoptes. I live to serve the Olympians and their appointed master. It is an honor. Argos hands the parchment to you. It reads, This document binds the master of the labyrinth and the snake known as Argos Panoptes, henceforth referred to as the foreman, together in agreement. Article 1. The master leases to the foreman the authority to summon food, water, shelter, and furniture for use however he sees fit, including for the benefit of the cultivation of crops and raising of animals. Second, y'all, it is water time. Oh, that's some good bubbly. Alright. In return, the foreman leases the Mirror of Hestiaid for the master's use however he sees fit, including for the benefit of and maintenance of the structure known as the hotel as established in previous contracts. Article 2. The master and the leasee shall refrain from bringing harm to the other directly and indirectly, by means of including but not limited to violence, incentivizing or rewarding third parties towards aggression against the other, sabotaging structures, poisoning food and water, among others. Article 3. The master is forbidden from directly and indirectly interfering with the full enjoyment of the foreman's rights granted under this contract. The foreman is similarly forbidden from bringing harm to the hotel. Article 4. The master is allowed to conduct inspections on the foreman's accommodations, save for the foreman's personal quarters, whose access is forbidden. The foreman is forbidden from conspiring against the master and shall not use the rights granted by this contract to bring him harm. The master and foreman are symmetrically bound by this article, including but not limited to not using Hestia's mirror to bring harm to the foreman. Article 5. This contract is self-enforcing. If any of its articles are broken, then possession of Hestia's mirror reverts to the foreman and any flame lit by the mirror is put out. At the same time, the foreman loses the rights transferred by the contract, and any and all structures summoned by him cease to exist after a 10-minute interval to allow for evacuation. Article 6. This self-enforcing contract is made effective at the moment of its signing. Remains valid during the master's reign until the following master acquires the hotel's deed. By the will of the master, to whom the Olympians' reign over the realm was granted, this contract is established. Now, what is this? It says here that by signing this contract, I allow you to enter the hotel's boundaries. That just like I can inspect your accommodations, you'd be able to inspect the hotel. That is not what you described to me just a minute ago, Argos. I know for a fact you are not allowed to come in. Argos' posture shifts from the graceful bow to a stiff, shaky one. Were you perhaps trying to trick me? Now that is awfully underhanded of you. I took you for an honorable follower of the gods. I'm very sorry, but I cannot sign this contract. Alas, this is a pity. Well, you offered me the trinket in exchange for my consideration, so it belongs to me now. I wish you a good day, Argos. Perhaps next time you won't attempt to trick your lord. Without a second thought, focusing only on containing the large smirk plastered on your face, you turn to go back inside. Wait, Master! This is a mistake. I offered you the wrong parchment. Here, this is the right one. Please reconsider. Don't go. I really am your follower. I am honored. Please. I'm so hungry. You've left a sour taste in my mouth, Argos. Make yourself useful to me and come back later with a proper agreement. Perhaps I will reconsider. No promises, however. You got played, son. You got played. Kindling for the holy flame. The cave swallows you back into the hotel's depths, a velvety darkness to which your eyes struggle to adapt. Your breathing and footsteps echo all the way up the spiral staircase. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. It's like we played Argos like a damn fiddle. Anyway, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks. Or tip if you can, it always helps. Now, before I go, I wanted to thank our lovely, lovely patrons for their continued support. It's pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and do a little name call, shall we? We have, thank you so much, Galen, Pubsqueaks, Stefan204, and Tom Bombadil. Yes, right, folks, Tom Bombadil from The Lord of the Rings is now one of our patrons. Alright, thank you all so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!